What's going on, my Enlightened Ones? This is your boy Mash the Monarch here to talk about the last chapter of One Piece, chapter 1013, but specifically the last panel when we watch Kaido basically crying to see an unconscious Luffy fall into the sea. And when you think about it, did you know that Pentagon actually confirmed the UFO spotting was real? And it just so happened to happen when Luffy was falling over Onigashima. I mean, I'm not trying to make any claims, but coincidence? You tell me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through this list of 10 and see whether they're likely or unlikely. And to kick things off with number 1, Luffy saving himself. This one's probably in the unlikely category because the last time we saw Luffy, or in that last panel when we're seeing Luffy, he seems pretty darn unconscious. And everyone's drawing parallels between that and when he was falling off the side of the building against Crocodile. In that case, he had a contingency plan. In this case, he's pretty much knocked out. And for him to wake up, he would then have to realize he's falling into the sea and either stretch and catch himself or go get forced to fly back up to go again and fight Kaido. So with all those things in mind, this one's pretty much unlikely. All right, next up is Yamato. Last time we saw her, she was talking to Momonosuke about what was going on the roof, and Momo basically said it's basically a one-on-one fight. And Yamato knew right away, I gotta get to the rooftop, because when it's one-on-one, you bet on Kaido, and that will remain until further notice. But we move. Say Yamato gets to the roof, does she notice that Luffy's already gone and goes tries to save him? Or does she get there in time, transform into a possible, everyone's speculating, a white tiger, a mythical zone white tiger, and catch him? A monkey riding a tiger? That's something I'd like to see. So, I would say this one's probably right in the middle of likely and unlikely. It's probably more on the side of likely because we do know she's on her way to the rooftop, but there's a lot to be seen because we don't know a lot about her character yet. And at number 3, we got Momonosuke with the voice of all things. All right, this one is going to land right in the middle. Yes, he's been relaying information about what's going on the rooftop to Shinobu and Yamato in the last couple chapters, but right now his full attention is actually on his father's logbook. For him to take his attention away from the logbook, realize there's only one more voice on the roof, it's not Luffy's, he's unconscious and falling into the sea, he would then have to transform into his dragon form or stay his kid form, fly past the likes of Kandro, the Marys, and everyone else that's trying to get him, get outside and then catch Luffy. This would be pretty dope because this might set up the plotline of him seeing that Onigashima is being held up by flame clouds and he uses his own to hold up Onigashima. But at the same time, with Kandro chasing him, that sort of puts a wrench in that whole plan. But what if Kandro's on his way to Momonosuke, sees a dead or a reborn Orochi, and they go to try to take out Momonosuke together? This might set up the Korizumi versus the remnants of the Kozuki clan battle that we've been also wanting to see because we want to see Momo participate in the raid and do something in the raid. And that might be the perfect lining for him to get back or introduced into the fighting of the raid. Number 4, we got Tenguyama Hitetsu. I know what you're saying. I hear you. Oh, what? I can hear it through the screen. But listen up. For 2 reasons alone. The Nidai Kitetsu and the Aba no Habikiri. Those are 2 swords that were introduced into the story for a reason. Oda's not just going to place the Nidai Kitetsu in the story, mention that's the cursed blade, and leave it at that. Where he's also not going to mention the Aba no Harikiri being one of Oden's swords and it being left out of the fight to kill Kaido. Even though Momo right now wants to do more in the raid, say he actually eventually wants to fight, say he's matured by Shinobu's fruit, what is he going to use to fight? Just a random sword on the ground? No. He would eventually have to use the Aba no Harikiri to fight whoever. Orochi, Kaido some way, one of the numbers, somebody. And Tenguyama having wings on his back, that also plays a fact in Oda plays a little gem. Like, okay, he has flight. He notices the pirate that Otama trusted in. He noticed the pirate that stole the Nidai Kitetsu away from him. And he goes and saves him before he falls in the sea. I don't know. It may be unlikely, but this one is definitely going to land in the right in the middle one. Not likely, not unlikely, but it's right there. Right there. No, it's not a bird. No, it's not a plane. At number 5, we have Onigashima already being over the flower capital. And this one's going to land right in the likely category. For reasons being, a couple of chapters ago, we saw Mount Fuji in the back of Onigashima. And then last chapter, we saw Law and Zoro shambles into the castle. And the panel when Sanji was holding Zoro, it said dozens of minutes later. And if that's the case, that means Onigashima has been traveling for dozens of minutes. And it's basically pretty much either over land or over the flower capital at that point. So Luffy, yes, does get saved. But that also means Kaido's halfway to winning the war and halfway to his new Onigashima project. All he has to do is drop Onigashima on top of the flower capital. People are speculating that Luffy wakes up and somehow awakens his devil fruit to be able to create a rubber world and bounce the whole island back. Or uses his Conqueror's Haki to create a huge cave to basically sit right on top of the flower capital. Almost like a mountain god Odin situation. But who knows. So Onigashima landing on the flower capital or near the flower capital is definitely on the likely side. Mama. Last time we saw the Big Mama Shantir got knocked out the waterfall by Marco. But who knows? Maybe it finally made its way back to under Onigashima and Luffy falls on top of the ship. This one's going to land right in the middle because, like I said, they got knocked out the waterfall by Marco, but at the same time, they're persistent and they do want to get back together with Big Mom. Right now, Nekomamushi is after Perospero, and let's say that the Big Mom Pirates somehow, some way get back to Onigashima and they also help Perospero. This will also lend the fact that Mr. Moore's theory that the raid would fail, and that would be almost perfect timing because if the Big Mom Pirates get there to help Perospero from the Nekomamushi, that's another part of the raid or the part of the lines that gets taken out. So Big Mama Shanter being on Onigashima, right in the middle, give or take at that point. At number 7, we have a repeat of Endy's Lobby, the Thousand Sunny catching Luffy before he falls in the water. This one is definitely going to land on the unlikely side because the last time we saw the Sunny, it was still docked at the port right on top of Onigashima, and I don't think it fell down and then was being dragged by Onigashima this whole time, so that one's probably going to stay unlikely. Okay, number 9 is completely out there, and this actually ties into number 10, but number 9 is the octopus that was on the Thousand Sunny when they were scaling the waterfall to get to Wano. You see, this ties into number 9, or ties into number 10 because the octopus saves Luffy and brings him to number 10, which is the Polar Tang, which I say is the most likely to save Luffy because, as we know, they weren't able to get onto Onigashima when Onigashima was taking flight because of Kaido's flame clouds. So they've been submerged in the water, basically following them the entire time. And if they spot an octopus holding Luffy, they're going to go save him. And I feel like the octopus may save Luffy, bring him onto the ship where they tend to his wounds, because as we know, Lost Ship and Lost Crew are the Heart Pirates, and they are all medics. Well, not all of them, Lost specifically, but they are at least able to bandage and take care of Luffy to a point where he may be able to recuperate a little bit and join the battle again. Okay, my enlightened ones, that is 10. Some likely, some unlikely, and some are dab smack in the middle. But don't forget to leave a comment below what you guys think happens. Do you think he's saved? Do you think he drowns? Who knows? But leave a like, subscribe, and hit that noti bell button because we're going to keep on dropping videos, baby. Peace.